be comparing the 170 Mercedes Sprinter versus the 170 extended Mercedes Sprinter. And this is actually going to be a perfect comparison because both of these vans ride for and can sleep for. Now, this is our family van 2.0 layout and our OG family van layout. So we're gonna compare the two and you can really get an idea if you wanna put an extra bench seat in your van, how it changes if you just do the 170 versus the 170 extended. So let's go. First, we're gonna go through our family van 2.0 layout in a 170 Sprinter. A lot of people are concerned about the extra length of a 170 extended, so this is a great option if maybe your kids aren't gonna be coming with you all of the time, but you still want the functionality of having the extra bench seat. So I'm gonna hop inside here. So up front, we have the broad arrow bench seat on the swivel. So this does swivel to face forward when you're driving and swivels into this position for when you're kind of hanging out and lounging. The two front seats swivel around as well. So this gives you a really functional space, kind of secondary seating space up front, especially if you have the back in bed mode. So this is a great solution for families that know they're gonna have multiple people in their van to really open up the space in the front. Link down below for vanbuildshop.com if you want to shop the seat and the swivel. You can always email us too if you have any questions. And yes, we can install them. We're in Boise, Idaho. People ask all these questions all the time. Up front, this layout is very similar to our family van layout. You have the same area. You have an overhead upper cabinet storage. You have an overhead headliner shelf storage. This is a custom edition where we did a little dresser cabinet here for drawers for extra storage for them. Another option would be this could move toward the rear and you could have a full floor to ceiling kind of pantry space instead of having a countertop here. In the 170 with the family van 2.0 layout, the kitchen does get quite a bit smaller because we can't extend the kitchen too far into the sliding door. With when the seat is moved forward, you still need room here to pass through. Obviously when it's swiveled, it's really easy to get through, but the kitchen does shorten a little bit just because overall your length of your van is shorter. The difference between a 170 and a 170 extended is about 18 inches, and that's a lot in a van. We're always playing a game of inches in vans. So in this van, they only have a 65-liter fridge in their kitchen and no other refrigeration or freezer space. Now this is our standard wet bath. It is the same in our family van layout. This from front to back takes up 45 inches. We are using a 24 by 32 inch shower pan in this van, and the toilet is cantilevered over the shower pan, so you have kind of like a toe kick area there where you're not kicking your toilet. So this fixed space is typically the same in all of our layouts, and if you are curious about more of the specs and dimensions for all of our floor plans, check out our van layout guide down below. Now I already talked about the kitchen. We have one big difference with the family van 2.0 layout is a different sleeping setup. You get all of the overhead upper cabinet storage on both the passenger and the driver's side, and a convertible table bed space in the back to sleep too. And the front bench seat actually folds flat to create another sleeping space. If you have older children, I would say that bench seat really is only good for one person to sleep on. If you have younger children, I think that two could easily sleep on it, or there's other sleeping solutions for the front cab area, like the Kabunk or the Luno air mattress kind of setup thing for the front cab. Moving to the back of the van, like I mentioned, we have our convertible table bed area in our family van 2.0 layout. So this gives you all the functionality of having that convertible space back here. You can leave it as a bed if you don't feel like making your bed, or you can set it up in this kind of dinette mode. Like I mentioned, you still get all this overhead upper cabinet storage, which is awesome for easily accessing things inside your van. Now, let's move on to the family van OG layout. Now let's talk about our original family van layout. This does seat and sleep for, whether you have teenage kids, older kids, younger kids, this really does sleep for adults even. So come on in and we'll give you a little tour in here. So we have the same swivel base. Now we are in a 170 extended 3500 Mercedes Sprinter, is not an all-wheel drive. We did the lift and suspension on this. If you're gonna put the Happy Jack bed lift system, which we'll talk about in a van, we definitely recommend going with a 3500. You will be overweight if you go with a 2500 because you think about it, you have two beds, essentially two ceilings, mattresses for both beds. Just the weight adds up overall. For us, when we're doing a Happy Jack bed lift system, we trim out the whole thing. So you're just adding a lot of extra weight. Now up front, very similar to our family van 2.0 layout, we have the swivel base with the broad arrow seat. So again, this does swivel to face forward. And shout out to these car seats. If you're wondering what this is, it's actually a travel car seat. Now the seat does swivel to face forward when you're driving, especially if you have children. We never recommend anyone sitting sideways in a van, which is why we never install seat belts in the back bed area. That's like the worst way to be facing if you were ever in a crash. So this does swivel forward, and shout out to these seats. I'll link them down below. So the broad arrow seat does have car seat like anchors down below, and then it does have the tether for the tether strap that goes behind the seat. But this is the coolest seat because it's actually foldable. So one of the reasons why we picked these for the van is because when we get somewhere, we can fold these up, put them away, and then that opens up the space as a hangout space for me and Alex. Boys kind of hang out in the bed a lot. So you pull a little strap down there, it folds up, and then we often just kind of store them right here. And then that way, again, this opens up the space for us. I will link down below. We bought those on Amazon. They're awesome. They're a little spendy, but they also come with a backpack. So if you're like traveling by plane, you can take those with you as well. So overall, you still have the same amount of storage as the other van with the Family Van 2.0. We have an upper cabinet here with storage, our headliner shelf for storage. We didn't do a built-in table. We may add one in the future, but so far, we really haven't needed one. Next up, we'll talk about our kitchen. So compared to the Family Van 2.0 layout that we just saw, their kitchen was actually shorter than this one because we were only in the 170 wheelbase. Now we have the extended. So as you can see, our drawers actually got quite a bit bigger than the other van. And yes, we have all of our stuff in here. And we have our fridge here, but we were actually able to also put in a freezer because our kids love chicken strips, french fries, all that kind of stuff. And I can't imagine if we didn't have that extra space over here. It's really nice having a fridge and a freezer when you have kids. Again, lots of storage here, same style sink. Our kitchen is bigger overall, same style solid surface backsplash. We have a little bit bigger of an upper here because again, we have a longer kitchen overall. Now the bathroom is exactly the same size as the other one, our standard 45 inches from front to back, with the built-in separate urine diverting toilet. We actually did a custom shower pan in this one with tile on the floor and then tile up just one wall. The rest of the tiles are the Palisade vinyl wall tile. Now this is when we start getting to the big differences back here. Now I already mentioned the freezer. We actually have a nice closet up here for tons of storage, and this is where we store all of our clothes. We kind of just put in a little shelf system in here. Let Alex show you guys where we put our stuff in packing cubes. Everybody gets their little cubby of stuff, and then we also have our ladder in here to access the bed up top and some bedding. And then above that is our electrical control compartment here, but we do have a little bit of extra storage on this side. And then down below, the wheel well comes into play with both of these bottom drawers because our wheel wells start right about here. So those are boxed in around the wheel well, but it gives us a good amount of storage down here still to slide things in, because in a van, every inch matters. As you can see, this is where our wheel well comes into play. So we just box around that. Not a ton of storage in those spaces, but we make it functional by still actually using that space. And then we come to the back. So right now we have it set up in our dinette mode with, again, our Happy Jack bed lift system up here. So this is where the space is very functional. This is still a 72-inch long bed down here. This drops down, cushions all come together. This is almost a king size bed back here. And then the one up top is almost a queen size. So I'll drop the bed down just so you guys can see, but it's a really easy functional system to use. And for reference, this is actually a little low right now. Can go up a little higher. I'm 5'6". If you're a little shorter than me, you could stand under there, but it doesn't really bother us because you're going back there just to sit down or lay down. And then all you have to do is push a button to bring down the top bed. I'm not gonna bring it all the way down, and it's not pretty right now, but it's a great place to store extra bedding. We put all of our pillows and blankets for even this bottom bed up top when we're traveling, and then we kind of set up, let the boys play outside while we make the beds in here. It's very comfy and cozy and a great solution for actually sleeping for adults, for
people in a van.
So hopefully this video helped you decide maybe you want an extended for that extra space to keep your bed area bigger, to be able to sleep 4 people in a van. Maybe you want to go smaller. You're not necessarily going to have people with you all the time, but having an extra seat might be functional, but you only need to sleep 2, so the family van 2.0 layout would be great for you. Both of these layouts are available in our van layout guide, which is linked down below. We do have a couple spots left for custom builds, so be sure to check us out at customcraftedvans.com if you're interested in doing a custom build. Now, one thing I didn't mention in this layout, this seat does still fold to create the bed, which is pretty simple to do. You take the 2 headrests off, this part of the seat folds forward, and then this back part lays flat, and you can have another bed up here. So technically, you could sleep 5 people in this one. I don't know where the 5th person would ride when they were in the van though. Anyway, if you like this, be sure to check out our other videos on our channel. See you guys next time.